on Hurricane Henri. Let's start off with the satellite here. Looking at this, the center of this thing, with right under the clouds. I mean, a lot of convection, just some heavy rainfall underneath this area. But I want to really look at this here too. Some of these bands, some of this convection, well out ahead of the center. So remember, some of this rain, some of these impacts, going to impact portions of the coastline well before the center. So we've been talking about that for a while and really seeing that on some of our graphics, and this is one that really illustrates it, looking at the latest forecast. And a couple things to look here. One of them is, with time over the last 3 or 4 hours, the actual wind field has expanded somewhat, and you start seeing, out from the center 140 miles, even a situation where you're 100 miles away from the center. That's how far away you can see some of these tropical storm force winds. So right here in the yellow is how far out from the center those tropical storm force winds are really reaching. So with time, and this is why we focus not just on the center and not just that center line forecast, you have to focus on those winds. And look, if you take that forward in time, you can see how big of a swath of those tropical storm force winds we actually have. In red here is your hurricane warning encompassing Long Island, Connecticut, Rhode Island, parts of Massachusetts as well. And on both ends, your tropical storm warning. And that really is encompassing where we have those winds. And that includes the New York City area. Let's look at the actual timing of this. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., there's where our hurricane is, just offshore. And remember, if you look at where we are here, look at where those winds are, draw that again on where we think the storm's going to be in this forecast at 8 a.m. You can see those tropical storm force winds arriving tomorrow morning. So you got to be prepared today. You got to start looking at wrapping things up during the day today while you have daylight, because tomorrow morning you're going to start seeing the onset of those tropical storm force winds. So we're going to watch that with time. So here we go. So we're going to have landfall really looking at tomorrow afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and then slowing down. We always talk about these when they make that turn. They really slow down quite a bit. And the 8 a.m. Monday, right over western portions of Massachusetts, and then in the evening, not moving very far from western Massachusetts into New Hampshire. So that whole time, you're going to have tropical rains, you're going to have wind on an area that's already saturated. You had Fred go over this area, saturated the soil, and you're going to put more rain on top of this and have this wind. You're going to knock over some trees. You're going to have power outage, significant power outages in some of these areas. And here's the brand new, this just came in a little bit ago, the brand new forecast for the rainfall. And look at some of these areas near Hartford, back portions of Connecticut, in western Connecticut, Long Island, New York. Some of these areas in yellow, 4 to 6 inches of rain. In orange, 6 to 10 inches of rainfall, and soil is already saturated. This is a dangerous situation when it comes to the rainfall, flooding, and also knocking over these trees and the power lines. So watch out for that, listen for those warnings, and make sure you're in a safe place associated with this rainfall. The other is a storm surge, 3 to 5 feet of storm surge, just a dangerous, that's water up your pant leg. And we're looking at Nantucket Sound, Buzzards Bay, Narragansett Bay, over towards Long Island Sound. Just a dangerous situation. Listen to those local officials, stay safe. We'll be helping you keep safe with the latest information from right here at the National Hurricane Center.